Hey loves, let's talk about the books that I read in the month of September. September, I read a total of 16 books. So let's get right into it, okay? So the first book that I read in September was Lucinda Berry's Phantom Limb. I got introduced to Lucinda, last in the month of August. So I wanted to read another one of her books because I enjoyed the first one. I like mystery, a little suspense, a little thriller. I gave that book a 4-star. Yeah, literally mouth dropped. The last few chapters of that book, I ain't seen it coming. So this book follows two sisters who went through a lot in their youth. So it's definitely trigger warnings on here. And they did with, one seemed to deal with the trauma of her childhood better than the other. And you see them now as adults and trying to navigate life, but they're twins. Am I not thinking I read a lot of books, y'all? Okay, so I think they're twins. So like they're just connected. And while one is trying to move on with life, one is seemingly trying to hold her back. But read the book. Twist, okay? Twist at the twist, okay? I gave that 4 stars. The next book, this was a 5-star read. I'm so excited because I did not have a 5-star read in a while, okay? August, I think I only had like 1 or 2 5-star reads. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I've seen this book all over TikTok, and I don't like to read a lot of books that are popular. But sometimes some I do, and I like to just judge things for myself. But for some reason, this book was calling to me. I was like, read this book before summer is over. I am so glad I did. Just for the Summer was so freaking good. Like so delicious, the banter, it wasn't even like a big spice and all that romance. I love a little spice, but it didn't need all that. The banter was carrying them, these two strangers who end up becoming friends, who we hope end up becoming more. I'm not going to tell any of the story, but it wasn't like, oh, you know, they're gonna get together, like you just thought you knew the story. No, you did not know the story. The story was so freaking good. It had so many things that were outside of just telling a book of romance. You know what I'm saying? Like it discussed the familial relationships. Oh my god, the best friend, that's my sis. Okay, read the book. 5-star read. Next, I read Accidentally Summon a Demon Boyfriend by Jessica Cage. I gave this a 4-star. This is another book for banter. Like if you really enjoy like good banter, you want to be kikiing like Abby Jimenez. Just for the summer, when I tell you I was kikiing, feet kicking up in the air, laughing. Jessica Cage, I ain't been kikiing as much as I did that just for the summer, but I was kikiing. It was very cute. She reminded me of how I would be if I was happy. I mean, for some reason, if I summoned a demon, the things that she was saying out her mouth is some of the things that I would have been saying. There was some very good spice in this book. And just I ain't gonna lie, some moments are like, huh? But overall, I give the book a 4-star. Then I wanted to go back to Miss Beverly Jenkins because I introduced myself to Miss Beverly Jenkins back in July. And honey, I love Forbidden. So I was like, let me read book 2 in the series. It's Breathless. So book 1, Forbidden, I gave 5 stars. Book 2, I gave it 4 stars. I can't really remember what knocked off a star for me, but I love the characters that freaking Beverly Jenkins bring. Granted, this is only my second book, but it carried on from some of the characters from the book 1 and just into another. Like it's not just a typical romance story. Like, and it's just like some romance stories, like the twist be so dumb. Like this going through too much. You know what I'm saying? Like this going too much. And I will say, I've noticed Beverly Jenkins there's always like a one last minute twist at the end. And I will say that what always makes me kind of roll my eyes. But I will say just the building up of the relationships, of the character development is just written so beautiful. I don't know if I can even read someone else's historical fiction, but I love Beverly Jenkins on. Next, I read The Oath by T.M. Richardson, Secrets Number 1. I gave it a 4 stars. This book was wild. I gotta stop following y'all up on these TBRs, baby. And we can go ahead and talk about number 2. That's the one I read next. The Offer by T.M. Richardson, book Secrets Number 2. Okay, so both of these books are poly relationships. The first book, y'all, it thrill. Okay, sweet little innocent me. This was a lot. Okay, this was a lot. It was like 3 of them. Are we serious? Are we being serious right now? It was a lot. I gave the book 4 stars. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, and then the second one, it was another poly relationship. It was only 2 of them on this one. But baby, it was clutch my pearls. So if you're here for you want a 5 spice level book, both of those books will be there for you. I will say they also did have good plots because I don't want to read a book where they just doing it every 2 pages. I felt like it was a lot. Okay, I clutched my imaginary pearls the whole time reading those books. And I also recommend reading those in person because I didn't care for the female narrator. Next book I read was A Little Kissing Between Friends. I'm like, you know, since we already on the romance level, let's keep it there. I gave this book a 3-star, but I would say maybe it's like a 3.5. It wasn't a bad book. The banter started off really good, and then I don't know, it kind of died off in the end. But it's about these two women who's always been friends. So this is a I don't know, like terms or whatever, but so it's 2 females and they've always been best friends, and then all of a sudden they looking at each other in different lights. So after that I read Rather, The Therapist, the Gray List, book number 2. Okay, so I told you in the previous video I read Chemistry in August. I read Rather. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I'm sorry, I gotta look out. but a cat can be running up on me. I was like, I don't know if I could deal with this writing style. But once I understand how Miss Huffington writes. I read through rather much more quickly, and I would say I loved her story. Oh my gosh, this book was so freaking good. Like I did not give it 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars just because I got through it more. The writing style was just like, what we need all these words for. Some of these words can be decreased, but overall, the overall story of Rather, who is one of the sisters of chemistry, it picked up from chemistry and where they ended the book there and where they were at as far as their life. You got to read the series. Ruger comes out in November. I'm ready. Okay, sign me up. Next book I read was Not What She Seems by Yasmin Angoli. I'm probably saying that wrong. I read this book because I absolutely love the Night series by Yasmin Angoli. I have talked about it all the time. I will always talk about it. I will reread that series. So when she came out with another book, it's Not What She Seems. It's supposed to be a mystery thriller, suspense. Unfortunately, I gave it 3 stars. I wasn't thrilled. I wasn't suspense. It was an okay book. It was an okay book. The plot, basically, a young girl is accused of unaliving her father. And she never got arrested or anything for it. But it's just, you live in a small town. I live in a small town. Rumors and everything. So she ended up leaving, going off to college. But then she got into drama in college. And so her life implodes in college. And then her grandfather dies. So it makes her have to come back to the small town. And it goes crazy from there. It is a really good story. Maybe like a 3.4. I don't know. It just didn't move. I don't know, for some reason. But I'm still a Yasmin Angola fan, so next book she comes out, I'm gonna read it because I'm so in love with the Night series. Then I went back to my novellas because, baby, I was like, I need short, quick books. I started at Melody Lynch. I have started her in August. She has tons of, her catalog is long, okay? And she writes paranormal romance, and I'm here for a little monster romance. So this one is actually mermaids. So I read The Tides of Desire, Curvy Girl, Paranormal Romance, Waves of Passion, and The Gifted and Cursed. Okay, I think that's another series. So we'll just talk about the mermaids first. So I read The Tides of Desire and Waves of Passion. This was really cute. It was the mermaids. I think it was my first mermaid romance book. And yeah, I gave both of those 4 stars. Very much enjoyed them. Nice and short. Then I gave 5 stars to The Gifted and Cursed, African American urban fantasy Trinity Jones psychic paranormal investigator book 1. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, so Trinity Jones is she's technically an orphan, but she stays with her auntie, and she's a scripper. She also has psychic powers. So this is the first time that we have paranormal on that aspect. A lot of paranormal books are more like monster related or whatever, but she sees that she communicates with the dead, and this pretty much takes her job from just being a scripper to becoming an investigator. So we follow her journey. Book 1, I absolutely love it, 5 stars. Book 2, Truth in the Ashes, just continues from that book. I gave that one a 4 star. It moved a little slower. It was a little longer, and she doesn't usually write books that long. But it was still good, very much good. I'm already reading book 3 now. Next, I read Heal Thyself. Oh, speed up. Heal Thyself for Health and Longevity. I read this with a book club that I'm in. I enjoyed this book very much. By Queen of Fu. I have some other books by Queen of Fu that I need to. I have that big sacred woman by Queen of Fu that I haven't read yet. So I was like, since I haven't read that one yet, let me hop onto the book club and read this book along with them. I enjoyed it. I will say in the month of September, I was on a no meat diet. So this actually fit right along with my life. Like, I didn't plan it off of the book. And what she preaches is a lot of being meat free and dairy free, being vegan, pretty much, or whatever. So great book, and it came with a lot of great information and advice. That's things if you want to learn how to heal your body naturally and things like that. And I read Losing Control by Lady Nisha. I've seen so many posts about this book here, mostly on my Facebook groups. I've been wanting to read this one, so I finally dive into this one. I ended up giving this 4 stars, but this book was good. The book was good. Okay. At this very moment, I can't think of what the book is about. I can't think of what the book is about. But the book was freaking good. Okay, let me refresh my brain real quick. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Caesar. Okay. 2 emotional and unavailable people getting together. Read the synopsis of the book. I'm sorry. I am feeling really bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, she loses. Oh, child, this book starts off with drama. Okay, I remember. So, yeah, so we follow Marley and Caesar. Marley is in a state of depression. Marley is trigger warnings in this book, okay? Marley has lost her. Oh, I don't know if I can tell that without telling the book. Marley has some big losses in her life. She also has family trauma. Only the best thing she got going for her is her van that she lives out of, which I love that life. So I love that, to read that in a Black book. And then also her sister. And basically Marley's just trying to breathe. She's just trying to live. She don't really want to be here, but she here. So she's trying to make the best of it. You have Caesar, who is a huge rapper in Detroit, and he has come in his own, and he's a hot mess. Okay, hot mess. But deep down, he really just wants love. Okay. And then there's like backstories with his mom. It's a lot going on because backstory with her mom. Whew, it's drama, but it is good. Okay, very fast paced. You can get through it. I read that book. I did not want to put it down. Yeah, and I think that was the last book that I read in the month of September. So hopefully you caught up with that, because I'm definitely have to speed this video up so it can be 10 minutes or less. If you want to hear any more about any of these books, definitely let me know. Leave any recommendations if you feel like y'all can catch my vibe of what I'm reading. I read all over genres, so let me know. I'm looking forward to spooky season October and trying some new books. So